my name is cydnaide, but you can call me Cy, and welcome, and for those returning, I see you, boo.
Hey everyone, I am so sorry. I am super duper late with this update. It took a minute. I wasn't feeling that great this weekend, but I am not going to let that hinder me from trying to give y'all something to look forward to for this upcoming week. Again, I am very sorry that I didn't upload Friday, but here I am, and I'm going to make sure that I have this out by either today, which is Monday, or tomorrow, Tuesday. So you ever take which one this one works for, but here I am. So first we're going to start off with Kjun. This is his anniversary. Yay for the anniversary. But yeah, this is his anniversary. This is going to be his anniversary update, I would guess, to say, his Friday devlog. Instead of us having a video, we're going to be just having some appreciation, words of appreciation, and basically a better look into the update for the roadmap and what they're going to be doing further on in the future concerning inZOI and their development process. So yeah, I'm going to just go over his message, and then we're going to break down the roadmap. Today, as we celebrate inZOI's first anniversary, I want to share a brief reflection and our plans moving forward. As with many things in life, every beginning starts with excitement. However, when we first met our players on March 28, 2025, it felt more anxiety than excitement. inZOI launched into early access after just 1 week of demo testing. Preparing a demo before launch was not an efficiency-oriented decision from a development standpoint, as it required us to prepare 2 builds simultaneously. Even so, we made that choice for a reason. At the time, I felt inZOI was not yet ready to be sold as a paid product. I wanted players to try the demo first so they wouldn't purchase the game if it didn't suit their preferences or hardware. A year ago, I wasn't asking players to buy the game. If anything, I was closer to asking them not to. It's crazy. To test stability across various hardware specifications, I brought my personal PCs to the office and spent entire weekends testing and troubleshooting. There were many moments when problems remained unsolved, and I faced limitations that our team alone couldn't overcome. These are the moments that can demoralize a developer. Despite this, many of you continue to play and support us for over a year. I want to express our gratitude in some small way. So in this build, I included a special anniversary cake, and that cake reveals a special message when sliced. It may not be a grand gift, but it represents my appreciation for staying with us through an imperfect and evolving game. Even now, I still feel a sense of apology. There are still bugs to fix, awkward or incomplete content, and unfinished memory optimization. However, our team is gradually becoming more familiar with the journey, and we are steadily building the experience needed to do better. If I could go back to the beginning of development, I might hesitate before choosing this journey again. This is because the development difficulty is extremely high, and delivering proportional enjoyment for the development cost spent is really tough. Perhaps that is why there are so few games in this genre. He ain't lying. Or perhaps it would reflect my own limitations. Even through these challenges, the process of receiving feedback on Discord and improving the game step by step has been a great source of happiness for me. To be honest, I thought many of you would try the game at first and quickly leave. I never expected such a long and ongoing dialogue with so many of you all. Among all the games I have developed over a period of close to 30 years, this journey has been the most meaningful. Thank you sincerely. To mark this anniversary, I would like to recommend you a book, The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. The book emphasizes a stoic mindset, accepting what we cannot control and letting go of unnecessary worry. This philosophy resonates with the emotional direction we aim for in inZOI. I like that. I like that philosophy. I kind of live by that myself. It's like, do what you can and don't worry about what you can't. Now to get back into sharing our development for inZOI. These are the plans we have for the rest of the year. So now we're going to go into his fundamentals first and the other things that he's breaking down for the roadmap. Now, I won't read these word for word. I will kind of just summarize these up, but I will leave the text from what he had on Discord in the video. So essentially, they're going to be doing fundamentals first, which is basically summing up all of the content that we already have, fixing it up, rounding it out like they said they were going to do, but they're going to be pushing further into it without adding too much. So for the remainder of April, they're going to be basically hammering home getting bug fixes done and rounding out content that seems kind of janky or doesn't have any complete features to it. So hopefully that means that they're going to be going to these different features that they put in the game and just round them fully out like they said they were going to do. So looking forward to that. the main goal for April is, and again, this is the part of the fundamentals, is to going over the full scale of stability improvements and optimization through April. So this is also going with the expanding for graphics, expanding for the not expanding, but giving us better optimization for system memory, so our computers won't implode when we're playing it. Because honestly, my computer sometimes sounds like a jet engine playing inZOI. And so any kind of optimization, be it graphical, be it keeping like a lot of the different background stuff from just making the game work hard, or the game or the computer working hard as it should, that would be great. So this is basically what he's talking about, what they're going to be doing for April. Now, he did put up a new content roadmap. So this is just to let us know that they're still going to be adding content. However, it will be sprinkled in throughout the rest of the year. And he did put for each month what they're going to be doing for each one of these bit of contents that they're adding. So for April, they're going to be adding jobs and freelancing along with the graphical and memory system memory optimization update. So hopefully we're going to be getting the job interviews that I said in one of my videos, and I think I even wrote in someone's conversation they were supposed to be in this update, the March update, but it was not. I was wrong. Here I am taking accountability for that. I was wrong. It's not going to be in the March update or anything like that. It's going to be in the April one. He says it right here that that's what's coming. And so glad for clarification in that spectrum. He also said that they're going to be doing freelance jobs, which I think is the one where you drive around on the little scooter and do deliveries. So that's going to be that too. And I think also he's going to be adding for us to be able to work overtime and have the job interviews and all of that stuff. So that's what's supposed to be coming hopefully in this April update. May, they have high school life. So in May, the high school life is going to be, with addition to the existing rabbit hole system, they're going to give us the opportunity to have our Zoids to go in and have a high school experience. Remember, y'all, they're doing this for free. They're doing this for free. This is not a pack. This is free. This is not a paid DLC. This is free. We're going to get high school life where we can follow our teen Zoids around, going through high school, going to prom, going to graduation, just experiencing high school life. And we're getting this again for free in the base game. That's wild to me. Like, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to it, but I hope that when they do deliver it, that it is rounded out, because honestly, we need that. We need complete features right now, as far, because this is what they said about Fundamentals Versus, that they want to make sure that the gameplay that we get is rounded out. And kind of like, I understand putting bases down, but when you put bases down, people get tired of you just putting down foundations and never putting in the other stuff, because you can't live on a foundation. Yes, it can be rock solid, but no one, again, can live on that unless they're living in a tent. And people are right now, I feel like a lot of us are starting to feel like we are getting tired of living in tents and makeshift houses. We want the full thing to be solid. You know, I want to live in a house, you know, but that's neither here nor there. I know they're going to get to it. It's just that it's, again, very valid to feel like, well, they're putting all these features in, they're putting all this wonderful stuff in, and they're rounding out the base game by putting these features in. However, it feels like we're just getting foundations and we're not getting a whole house. And so I understand that completely for those who, you know, are very skeptical or taking their time or just not necessarily sold completely on getting inZOI. And again, I hear you. Early access games can be, especially in this wide range of, like the wide range that is inZOI, because it is taking on a huge genre that is full of just getting every little aspect of life, because life is hard to emulate in just one way, because again, other games in different genres have like where they have one aspect that they're going by, they got one theme and they're going by that and that theme only. Whereas inZOI can't do that. They have to think about everybody else in the world, because when you're putting out a life sim for everybody else, they want to be able to emulate their life in it. That's why life simulation games are hard, because they have to make sure that they go about making sure everybody can feel included in it. Now, not saying that hasn't been a thing in the last 10 years, because, you know, again, Sims 4, but it's now more prevalent now that people want to see themselves when they play a life simulation game, because in the time past, and let's just be honest, they're just a product of their time. Sims 3, 2, and 1 were about the American suburb dream. Let's just be honest here. That like, you're not getting different other places other than to go visit them. But it was basically life simulation based off American standards, and that's just what it is. It was never about just doing it from the lens of everybody else. It was the lens of the American point of view of the world. And so now that life sims are getting now that Sims 4 is kind of not the only one we got now, inZOI, hopefully Paralives in May. It's expanding beyond just the American perspective. It's going towards more of everyone's perspective now, and I hope that continues and that we get more life simulator, not life simulator like, but life simulator games, so that everybody can get something from a different place and from feeling it from a different standpoint and perspective. So I'm sorry I went on a tangent. But with that said, the July update that's coming out comes back to what I was saying about different perspectives. Because now we're going to have actual true travel, resort improvements, and prison. So we're going to be getting different prison systems in each of the worlds that we have. We're going to actually be able to travel and visit places instead of buying a lot there. So that's exciting. So I'm glad they're finally fixing that, because that was one of the things that I was really excited about. Like, man, I hope they, fix the issues with traveling so I don't have to buy a house. But then again, I was like thinking to myself, but that also opened up a door for us to be able to buy more than one home in a place. So, and they did show that with the businesses, so you can have more than one business. I think you can have up to 3. So that's, or at least not just businesses itself, but buildings itself. So that also puts in, again, the real estate aspect of things. So again, if they fleshed it out in July with the travel and being able to buy homes, they can basically give us better real estate. We probably give us separate banks for our ZOIs, like all of that. And that, again, will be not just a new content thing. It will be a fleshing out of what's already there. So looking forward to that. In September, festivals and vehicles interactions. So we're going to be getting more interactions with our vehicles. I'm glad for that. Like washing, fixing them, like just giving us, again, more rounded gameplay. And it's going to be in September with the festivals. So we're going to get more rounded out festivals. And then I think that's a good time to even do that, because then we're going to be getting Halloween. We're going to be getting Christmas, Thanksgiving, all other different holidays that they have during this time. Like, I'm only listing off American ones or ones that people mostly know. But again, this will then give us the players who have different holidays between those times to be able to place those holidays in there, because then they're going to be user generated events that they can put on there. So now we can finally do user created holidays in. So that's very exciting, because right now all we can do is events. We can't put actual holidays on the calendar. October Karma system improves. They're finally coming back to Karma. Now, Karma first came out. I remember the Karma system back when it first came out. I actually kind of liked it. A lot of people were like, I don't like this, but I liked it. I used it as a challenge to challenge myself to see if I can make my ZOI to be very good, so they can, get them good Karma Girl points. You know what I'm saying? And then I was able to get it with one of my ZOIs, like my very oldest ZOI. Like, I have not touched that save in a very long time. I'm scared that it'll break because there has been a lot of changes again with the game, and I'm kind of scared to break my game or break that save in particular. So I have not touched it since. But she was a good girl. So she was one of the good ones, and she was doing her best to be a good citizen. And I kind of, again, like I said, I like the Karma system, but they are bringing it back, and they are going to be improving it. So hopefully, whatever the Karma system is now, because I do think that was very unique to inZOI, and I was so glad to see it, because it, again, was something so completely different from gaming wise for life simulation games. And I liked it. It was very unique. It was very inZOI, and they had to take it out because a lot of people said they just did not see the need for it, and it felt janky to them. Again, I didn't feel that way, but again, they listened to those players, and because those players were very vocal about it versus some of us who were just fine with it, so they took it out and they said they were going to refine it, because that was something that not inZOI, but just Kjun wanted to have in inZOI. So they're bringing it back, and I'm glad. So on to December now. December is going to be where they're going to be giving us fame, reputation, celebrities, and social media. So hopefully now we'll get a real social media app like Bubbly. I hope Bubbly is fully fleshed out. I'm not that crazy about the celebrity, fame, reputation stuff, because again, at the end of the day, that kind of gameplay is kind of like, for me, I am one of those people that like to stick to myself, and I don't really care about reputation or fame. Like, I don't mind the money that comes with that, but do I care about the coverage and being seen and known? Not really. No. Like, even as I do YouTube, like, my whole point and my whole thing for this is that I just love content creation. Will I be upset if I make money from it? Heck no. I like, bring me the moolah, bring me the coins, baby. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I enjoy what I'm doing, but I don't necessarily want to be, if I have to be seen in public, like, oh my God, that's that chick named Cyanide from YouTube. But like, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Not that I would be rude or mean to anybody, but I am so awkward in real life towards other people because, again, that just comes from not necessarily how I was raised, because my folks they're very ambivert. They're not introverts, they're not outroverts, but they're ambivert, and they're really good at being very social. But I was more awkward than them, so and so that's most of my things, that I'm an awkward person. And I feel like I fumble over my words a lot. Like, even when I'm talking right here, I feel like I fumble over my words. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just know that the December update, the only thing I'm really interested in seeing is the social media one, which is bubbly. So I can just see folks acting a fool on the, or not folks, but like the Zoids acting a fool with one another on social media. And I'm like, okay, then. It feels like I'm watching Reddit in the game. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Enhanced mod support. So this one is also going to be going into a year-round thing. So they did a survey. I have been lazy and did not do the survey yet, but I will be doing it. I will be actually doing it this afternoon. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the survey this afternoon. But basically, from what they've gotten so far from the survey, is that everyone is demanding for script mod support. So to meet this demand, I'm going to read this out to you. To meet this demand, we are dedicating additional resources to accelerate its development, and timelines are continuously being shortened. Depending on progress, we expect to introduce this feature as early as this summer. Y'all, that is a huge leap from December all the way to summer. That is 6 months. 6 months. They're talking about pushing script modding to be at the forefront, so people can get this game in a sense of like the modders can get this game and give us script mods. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like script modding and just modding in general is because I would say for the most part we do not have to add a lot of different stuff in inZOI as far as mods go. Like, unless you want like custom hair or clothes or something like that. And for the most part, that's all I ever use it for. But I can't say that for the other licensed games. I actually recently looked in the Paralives thing for about modding, and I know this is going off on a completely different tangent about a totally different game, but I just wanted to put this in here and make a preface of this. Is that a lot of people in the community were like saying that a game shouldn't need to have script mods or any mods like that for if the game is really good. And I thought that having script mods isn't a sign of a game is weak or bad, unless there's Sims 4. Yeah, I'm slandering here. I'm throwing shade, but I will say that script mods give players an opportunity to have a different way of playing their game, especially like games like Life Sims. Like, I think about Skyrim too. Like, Skyrim is a solidly built based game. Like, I could play base games Skyrim with no issues and have the best time of my life. However, I do put some script mods in there because I want a different outcome or different way of playing the game. And so I feel like it is not a sign of weakness on a game to have some script mods, because then that gives you something different. Like, say for instance, if someone wants to go even like full GTA with their game using script mods, they can do that without inZOI's developers actually doing that and putting it in the game and making it harder for other people to enjoy the game, because they're worried about if their Zoi do one bad thing, they're getting shot up. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the people that were saying that because Paralyzed will be superior in this way because they're not allowing script mods seems kind of tone deaf, in my opinion. Yeah, tone deaf. Very, very tone deaf and elitist. Very, very elitist. Because it's very weird to feel that way about that. I don't feel like script mods make your game worse or better. I feel like it just adds different flavors. And to say that other games are bad because they use script mods is, again, like I said, very tone deaf and just very elitism nonsense. So, but that's neither here nor there. I am actually very glad they're bringing script mods, because then the people that are very talented who want to put in different aspects of the game, then, and I said, oh, that would be kind of fun if I can have my Zois to do a certain thing or whatever. They can do it now because the script mods are in there. And so, again, I'm actually looking forward to the script mods. I'm not thinking that inZOI is a bad base game, because I honestly think that base game inZOI is very fun. Like I have tons of fun with it. And there's some times where I just play just to play it and don't do it for videos or anything like that. And I'm like, shoo, I just want to sit here and just turn my brain off and let my Zois do whatever the heck they want to do, because I can do that. And so again, yeah. I'm just looking forward to that. But underneath here it says, our goal is not to just enable modding, but to provide an enhanced modding environment. Key features currently in development include improved usability, mod-friendly environment, communication channels, and model support. So basically saying they're going to make sure that everybody that's in the modding community, or those who want to do mods, have the most support that they can possibly have doing to make scripting and any kind of modding that they want to do just very user-friendly and easy for them. So they don't feel overwhelmed or like they're doing too much, or that they're not getting any support from the inZOI team to add their mods into the game. So that's very, very nice of them to do. Now we're going down here to Canvas. Canvas Town is by far the favorite part of this roadmap for me. I don't know what else to tell y'all. That is my favorite part of this roadmap that they have. Canvas Town. Oh my goodness. And I will actually read just a little bit of this. But again, you can pause the video and read it for yourself. So forth, because I'll have it up here. While simulation games offer high freedom, they can sometimes become repetitive. It isn't always easy for interesting situations to emerge naturally. Just as YouTube can gather interesting real-life moments to show the world, we wanted to create a system within inZOI where players can save and share the unique gameplay experiences. While the existing canvas focus on sharing creative buildings and characters, the upcoming Canvas Town will focus on sharing real experiences and stories in the form of save files. Y'all know what that means. Anyway, players can upload their created stories for other players to experience. The players can also jump into one-of-a-kind save files that were created using mods and cheats. Enough said. These shared worlds can either be enjoyed along with other NPC Zoids or with a small group of other real-life players in a multiplayer session. Y'all. The giggles. The fact that they understand their limitations and what they're trying to deliver is just not enough, especially with what the wants from the community are enormous. They're just a lot. And they understand it, and it's like, what can we do? Because at first they were very much just like, we're going to be gung-ho, we're going to push through, we're going to give the players what they want. And still, as they were putting out really great updates, people were coming in, people were enjoying the content. There were still a lot of people that were saying, well, it didn't have this or it don't have that. That can honestly demoralize a person. And as much as they have been very straightforward, very transparent, and just being very optimistic about their game, they're also being realistic right now. They do not have the resources really to make sure that this game be with everything that everybody wants. So allowing us to have script mods, allowing us to have Canvas Town, to have the Fate engine, to have all of these things, these different pieces to make what we want it to be, will be not only just instrumental to this game being its own giant in its own way, it's giving us the users more than what has been given. And this team is letting us know that they are for us, and they're for us from the very beginning by making sure that we have all the support we need. Because I will say that, at least from what I've seen on the Discord, that the more they add and do for the modders, the more that the modders are more willing to mod for the game, and though because it's an early access, and so they have so many different updates and different things that they add to the game that breaks their mods. But with each update, they're making it easier and easier for them to get back into doing what they're doing for the mods, so they don't have to feel like it's a chore instead of just something they enjoy doing. It shows that they understand their limitations, and that doesn't mean they're not going to continue to add to the game. It'll just take some of that burden off of them, so people that can have the mods that they want for certain things will be already, modded in by other modders. And while they can work on those bug fixes, they can work on these different other aspects and not be stressed. Let's just be honest, stressed to get that stuff out to the people. Because if you're always trying to be perfect, because again, Kjun actually went over this that in his last devlog, about how he's one of these people that just like to make sure, or that there's a saying over in Korea or South Korea that they strive for perfection in a way. And so even though he does feel like you can't control everything, he still wants that what he can do to be perfect. And I understand that. I understand that thought process, but it's hard to think that way. So sometimes you have to sit back and humble yourself and realize that I cannot do everything. And so that is where he came in today with the philosophy for the book Untethered. So you can stop trying to, even though you can do something, don't try to make it perfect. Or at the very least, do your best in it. And if it's imperfect, you can always slowly over time chip at it to make it to where you want it to be, so that it's satisfactory to you and to those around you. And I think this is what inZOI is basically embodying, that it is not perfect, but if everybody chips and works at it, it will be something that everybody can enjoy. But yeah, enough with the philosophy today, y'all. I just wanted to just ramble a little bit. I just wanted to ramble a little bit because I didn't get a chance to ramble anything on Friday or throughout the weekend. I was just kind of just zoned out and just, but yeah. I give myself the giggles every time. I don't know why I'm so giggly, but other than the fact that I'm just happy that all these different things are coming to the game. This is a game that I have been following since 2000 and either 3 or 4. I can't remember. It's been so long, but it has been a joy. I have enjoyed the ride. Like, it's been bumpy. It's been like, oh man, is it going to really work out? Are they going to be slandered to heck from people because they don't like it or whatever? And no, they're pushing for it. They're taking that criticism and they're building on it. They said, all right, then bet. Thank you. Thank you for this. And I'm going to continue to push forward to make it the game that you said that it should be, without compromising my beliefs or anything like that. Because right now they're staying firm on a lot of stuff. So good on them that they're not changing it into anything else, but they are trying to make sure there's plenty of quality of life to the game and so forth. Like the lights now are automatically cutting off when the Zoids go to sleep. Granted, I would like for them to have an option that when the Zoids go into each room that the lights cut on and off. They said that they'll fix on that as well, but at least we got a base, and so I'm happy with that. But yeah, that is all for me, y'all. I have rambled, I have yapped. I have yippity yapped. But I'm glad I yapped, because sometimes it feels good to just go over your thoughts and just to get the community's idea or feedback on different things. Like, so what do y'all think, to be honest, like concerning, the development of inZOI, how the roadmap is like being fine-tuned? Like, what do y'all feel about that? Because again, at the end of the day, I want my platform to be somewhere where people can come in to have conversations and to just not feel like they have to filter themselves and how they feel about certain things or their opinions. Because let's just say if your opinion about inZOI is that it's very flat or that it's very soulless or something like that, those comments are very fine here. You know why? Because at the end of the day, I want to know why you feel that way. Because that is how you begin to figure out what can be fixed, what can be done about something, instead of worrying about whether or not someone is, going to judge you or say about their opinion about something. Because at the end of the day, again, we all have opinions, and it's okay to voice those opinions. That's how you grow. That's how you learn. That is how you make sure that whatever you're completing, whatever you're creating, that it is a well-defined product. Anyway, thank you guys so much for staying to the end of the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and again, make sure you comment down in the comment section, your thoughts, your opinions, all of that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.